the biggest difference from SEC to Big Ten? To me, it really isn't no difference.
I was about to say the same thing. I know you wanted to answer
At
that, but yeah,
the end of the day, it's football, man.
it's
You
football. At the end of the day, it's
ball down, you
big
got
time football.
exactly. It don't matter. Like you got to put the ball down, you got to play. So it don't really matter what conference you in. Every game is every game is important.
All right, we are back with episode 2 of the NIL Ace podcast. Here with Ian Johnson, the co-host, president, CEO of NIL Ace, and wanted to bring in a special guest and big time player for us, Tywone Malone Jr. out of Ohio State. Wanted to welcome you into the podcast, man, and see what's going on with you.
Hey, I appreciate y'all giving me a chance to come on here, man. I do.
Well, good, man. Like I said, we've been trying to get you on here for a minute. I'm glad to get you in and talk about, a little bit of football, talk Ohio State things, and kind of, your journey and process of getting, through college football and playing at a high level that you do. So wanted to kind of ask first question like I do with everybody. What kind of made you say, hey, football is my sport,
Yeah, that's a good question. Because usually growing up, I was always a baseball player. And, football came second. And then once I got to high school and I actually started getting offers for football, and that's when I realized, I was like, damn, football really, really is my sport. Like, I could play it at a high level. I could go to school for it. I could make sure my mama don't have to pay for no school or nothing like that. So it was just a good opportunity. And I just took that and advantage of playing baseball as well at the next level.
Absolutely. And T's a very good baseball player. For anyone that's tuning in or watching this or sees this, Tywone can hit the baseball. He also, I've seen in person, can also hit the golf ball extremely far. They might have to move those nets back a little bit at Top Golf.
Hey, I had some swing and misses though. I got to work on my little golf swing for a little.
Hey, that's fine. That's something that we can work on as time goes. But wanted to talk to you obviously about the early stages of football. When did you know, like, hey, I can really do this? This could be kind of my sport heading into college, and really, what made that kind of, make you feel like this football's my thing,
I have to say a big part was my family. My family was high on me playing both sports, and it was just like the transaction from baseball to football, especially from high school to college. It was different because high school, it's all fun and games, and then you get to college, that's the big boy show. It's time to shine for real. And it been a lot of talks. Oh, sorry, I should see. Sorry, but it been.
That's good, man. We like that. A little bit of action behind the scenes right now.
on me, that joint going crazy right now. I wonder what's going on. But anyway, back to the question. When I realized that I was ready for college ball, like I have to say, it was my high school. Like, to be honest, I was just playing football. Well, I was just playing my sport just to play, and then whatever happens after that happens, And then,
Right.
in high school, I started receiving D1 offers and stuff like that. And then, my old middle school coach and my dad, like we was close. Like I used to play ball with his kids, his sons, and stuff like that. So, growing up, it was one of those, like, it in the moment type of things. Like,
Right.
I didn't really know it until I started receiving those, and I was like, damn, I could really take this seriously and start working more on that craft. So that's what I would say.
Absolutely, yeah. And for a lot of people that don't know, Tywone actually played football and baseball at Ole Miss before he ended up heading to Columbus, Ohio. And wanted to talk just briefly on that. What was it like playing two sports in the SEC? Because that's not very common of a lot of athletes.
I ain't gonna lie, it was crazy. It was a crazy experience.
Right?
You gotta go right to football practice, and once that's over, you go jump right to baseball. Get a couple swings in. But most of the time, I manage it by, like, when it's football, and then when I have off days, I'll go to the cages, get some ground balls, and then when it's baseball season, I'm fully committed with that. So that's how I went about it and stuff like that. But other than that, the experience itself was different because you saw, like, different point of views on the different games. Ole Miss, they big with their football and their baseball program, and it was just crazy how so many people came out to support them, and it was just a crazy, like, the beer showers was probably one of my favorite.
Craziest thing I've seen in college baseball.
Probably one of the craziest baseball traditions I've seen, and then actually being able to get the opportunity to actually get a chance to play there and, hit some home runs and you see it for yourself, you like, wow, that joint crazy for real.
Oh, it is. It's a crazy atmosphere. I mean, the beer showers is something that has always kind of been a thing, I think, in the Ole Miss baseball scene.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to experience a couple when you let the long ball go. I know that for a fact. So that's really cool. Obviously, making the move to Columbus, what do you think it's like? I mean, I know what it's like, but what do you think about playing for such a powerhouse program like Ohio State?
It's different, down here, everybody got their cultures and stuff, and everybody got what like their main goals is for the season. But here, I feel like it's more like one dimensional. Like we all got the same goal, same plan, and we all trying to get better every day. Touch greatness and become the team that we know we can be. So that's the biggest thing to me is just seeing everyone buy into the one main goal. And, everybody focusing on that, and then just going at each other every day to make everybody better to succeed in that goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something that I've seen with you, and obviously working together for a little over a year now, and seeing a difference in you as you've gotten more acclimated with Columbus and Ohio, and really putting in that one dimension mindset where hey, this is for the family, this is for our team, and I really have gotten to see that, which is cool. And wanted to talk about, do you think there's any difference when you go from obviously an SEC program to somewhere in the Big Ten? What would you say is the big difference?
The biggest difference from SEC to Big Ten, to me, it really isn't no difference.
I was about to say the same thing. I know you wanted to answer that, but yeah.
At the end of the day, it's football, man.
It's football. At the end of the day, it's big time football.
Exactly. It don't matter. You got to put the ball down. You got to play. So it don't really matter what conference you in. Every game is important. And that's one thing that's one thing Ohio State has dug into me is like you can't take an opportunity for granted because each opportunity you can never know what's going to happen. So you got to make the most of it. So.
Right, 100%. So now I'm gonna ask you another like 2-part kind of question. What would you say so far at Columbus? What's your most memorable moment being a part of the Buckeyes, football program?
When you say moments, like what type of moments are you referring?
Like feel good moment, some point of achievement, or something where you're like, that was really cool that we did that.
I'll probably say when we do our little school session. So we do we get off. So after our hotel, so once we done with like our meetings and stuff, we'll go to the hotel. We'll hop on the bus and then we'll drive to like the Blackwell, which is our hotel out here, like another hotel, and we do like this little walk. And then we'll walk through the crowd and stuff, and then we make our way to like the basketball arena, and that's where we have like a little school session. Is when our Coach Day and like a player, like somebody, it depends what they want, they go up and they'll talk to like the band and the fans, getting ready for the game. That's a crazy experience to me. That's probably say was one of mine. Like, wow, like this jump real for real type moment.
Right, and it's got to be crazy. I mean, obviously seeing that stadium packed on a home game.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I'm not positive. I think Ohio State's got one of the biggest stadiums in the country.
Yeah.
How loud is that when it's third down and we got to make a stop? What's that like?
And your adrenaline's running. I can tell you that for sure. Like, you can feel the energy from the crowds, To be honest, like, with me, it was like, when I hear stuff like that, it boosts me up. I was like, all right, I gotta get the crowd going. I gotta get the crowd going crazy. So then that just makes you play even extra harder, especially in the stadium at home. It just make you feel like you gonna be on top.
Right, 100%. No, I get that. That's exactly how it should be. How would you say the fan base are with you guys, obviously, at Ohio State? Are they super friendly when they see you guys walking around town, or how would you say the fan base is with a lot of you and your teammates?
I would say, like, for the most part, the fans is great. They show respect to us, and we really appreciate that from them. They'll see us around. They'll say what's up to us. That was ask us how the game is, how we looking at for next week, and all like that. But to me, it's a culture thing down here. It's like everybody's friendly to everybody. No one really got no bad blood towards nobody, so it's all good.
Well, good, man. Like I said, we would love to hear about your experience. Obviously, coming from the South and then heading into the Midwest in Ohio, which is it's cold weather up there, man. And I know you're used to it being from Jersey, so at least we can keep you warm during the winter and obviously see you perform at a high level. And I wanted to relay your biggest challenge so far, playing through college football. I think a lot of people like to compartmentalize stuff like that. I think, to get some info out on you, what's been your biggest challenge, T, on, playing football at such a high level?
I would say consistency. Like
Right.
it's a really big thing. You gotta do the same thing every play, and it's like sometimes you'll get in your head like, man, like I know what I gotta do, and then when you don't do it at a high level, you'll low key will be on yourself, and you just be like, man, I know what I gotta do now. And it just to me the biggest thing is consistency. Like you just gotta know what you gotta do every play, and like you just don't take a play off. You can't take it for granted.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Because you never know, like I said, when that one play could turn into, a big moment for you, or it could not be a big moment for you. So you always got to be ready. And I like that mindset that you have. Leading more into, obviously, the space that we're in. It's the big sign behind us, the NIL space. What do you think, obviously, heading into the NIL landscape? What are your thoughts on it?
I think it's a great thing. I believe that college athletes should get paid for what they're doing. You know, it's a big marketing now with NIL coming out. So a lot of players, a lot of people, doing certain things to get exposure for their brands and stuff like that. But to me, NIL, it's a good thing. It's like it's a job at the end of the day. Like
Right.
you gotta do what you gotta do to get paid. So
100%.
yeah, that's all I can say.
Because it's like a full-time job, and I don't think a lot of people understand, when they're not as close to me, to you, or other people in the space, what it actually entails, man. Because I look at your schedule sometimes, or even some of our other guys, Jordan, I'm like, how do you guys survive? That's a lot of, because, you got weights at 6 in the morning, then you got, meetings, class, practice, and by the time you get home, it's 8 o'clock at night. So for the average fan or viewer, this is a full-time job. And, you backing that and saying that, because you're experiencing it right now. Y'all obviously are heading into this bye week this weekend. Get you guys hopefully some rest. But, I'm sure y'all are back to work as soon as Monday starts.
You just get the biggest thing is you just gotta have a routine for real. Like as long as you know what you gotta do each day, you'll be alright. You'll be fine. Like you just gotta plan out your schedule and make sure you have everything covered that you need. So
Absolutely, 100%. So, more along the lines of what we're talking about with managing your schedule. How does that come in with academics? Obviously, at Ohio State, is there a certain time where you're scheduled to do tutoring, or how does that work for y'all at Ohio State?
So yeah, we got this place. It's called SASO. It's like the student like study hall hours, and we got all the advisors there. They really help us out with like our scheduling and like setting up appointments. So they do a really great job of like making sure we get everything school wise done before we head into practice, before we don't got to worry about it no more. Cause we mostly practice in the afternoon, so we'll do like the study hall hours like in the mornings. Make sure we get all our work done for that day, and then throughout the week get our work done before Friday, before it's time to go on the show. So, they do. I say they do a wonderful job with that. Helping us out in anything we need, school related. So,
So another part of that question, I don't think I've ever asked you this, but I call you T, just so everyone knows. I call it Tywone T. Obviously Tywone, but wanted to ask you, what do you want to do, after your football career? So
I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm still on.
right.
I'm still on plan A.
We know what Plan A is. Obviously, ended up in the NFL and at some point near the future.
So I'm mostly focusing on that right now, and then once that time comes, I got a couple ideas in the back of my head of just like little side hustles and stuff like that to maintain while I'm doing the sport. But I'm not really fully committed on anything else rather than playing ball right now.
Gotcha. So I'm going to ask another question along those lines. What excites you outside of football? That you like to do, during your off time and stuff that kind of gets you away from the game, because it is a lot of pressure and stress on your body, mentally and physically, to play at such a high level that you do.
For the most part, I'll be on the game a lot. I've been playing 2K,
Right.
Duty and stuff like that. But on nice days like today, sometimes I like to just walk around High Street, just walk, look at everything, because sometimes you just gotta enjoy life for what it is. You just gotta walk around, experience the sunlight, look at stores and just, mingle with the people and stuff like that. So that, and then what else I like to do? A lot of people might not know it, but I like to kind of draw a little bit. I try to draw, but I ain't really good at it yet. But I'll be doodling it a little bit. So
I'd like to see some of that. Maybe the next episode, maybe we could do a little sketch or something that you've done before. Because I think that's cool, man. No, that's really cool. I mean, I don't think that people would know that unless you just talked about it now. So I think that's really cool that you do that. I didn't even know that. I've known you for over a year, and I didn't even know you drew. That's really cool.
Yeah, it'd be one of those like when those days like you just sitting there, you trying to figure out what to do. You just be drawing and junk. I ain't gonna say my drawings are the best now. It still got a lot of work to do, but it's just something I just be doing on my.
Anything in particular that you draw, or
To be honest, nah. Something just come up in my head, and I just be
right. You just draw it down. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd like to see some of that. I'm sure some people that'll be tuning into this would like to see that as well, because that's really interesting, and I don't think I've ever heard that before from anyone. Because that's really cool. I mean, there's more of an artistic side to you.
Yeah. I ain't gonna. I recently just started doing that though, so I ain't gonna say it's one of my main things. Like I probably started doing that like a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so this is like fresh, new,
but
it's something to take your mind off, and you're not, torturing people in 2K. You can take your mind off and draw.
Yeah, bro.
So that's good, man. I don't think I've ever asked you this question either. Is there anything that you do pre-game? Like, do you have a ritual, or are you superstitious? How does that go about?
Pre-game rituals? I don't really do much, I just sit there, listen to my music, try and get in the zone. I probably will look over like the play calls, play sheets, and like the opponents, how their offensive line was set up and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm mostly like to myself, in my zone, and, trying to prepare my mind to get ready for the game.
So who do you mainly listen to? I wanted to ask that as kind of a two-part. Who gets you right for it's showtime?
That's a good question. Cause I like to listen to very different people. Sometimes I gotta go Rod,
right,
and then I'll go Young Boy. Sometimes I go Little Baby if I'm feeling like it's time to get that money.
See, I like that because you know what I mean. I'm an Atlanta boy, so I like my Little Baby, man.
You like that Little Baby boy.
I love my Little Baby. So
those are my three go-to people that I mostly listen to. But last time we played, I ain't gonna lie, I was listening to Boss Man D-Lo.
Okay, yeah, oh yeah.
That boy,
he's got some good stuff, man.
He got some good songs.
He's got some bangers. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yep.
Leading into that, like, so you don't have any superstition. Like, there's nothing that you have to do the same before every game. It's just basically how you feel.
Yeah.
Cool. That's really cool. Heading into long-term goal here, which I know we talked about previously. It's obviously to be in the NFL. Do you have? I don't think I've asked you this either. Do you have like a dream team that you'd want to play for? No.
I really don't. No, it's to be honest, it's just whatever team that needs me and needs me to do my job, whatever they need from me. That's all I really care for. I don't really care for a specific team. I never really grew up liking one team. I like just watching ball. I like playing ball. So it's whoever needs my skill set and on their team.
Absolutely. Hopefully it's somewhere where we can get some warm weather. I know you've been in Jersey, grew up there, and then obviously are in Columbus now. So luckily the weather's not shifted too much, and it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But I know those winters can get really cold up there. So
yeah, boy,
that is something I'm gonna experience that too a little bit later this year. You're gonna see me like an igloo, man. I'm gonna be head to toe 5 layers.
Come dressed warm. That's all I can tell you. You better come dressed warm. You better have your coat. You better have your hat. You better have everything.
Man, you're gonna see me. You're gonna say, "Where'd Ian go?" Well, all the clothes are on him. So, but yeah, man, that's something exciting that we'll get to see and kind of do it in person this year. Is obviously that big game coming up at the end of the year. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Since you've been at Ohio State, the culture and the atmosphere leading into that Michigan game, what is that like? Obviously, being there.
Boy, it gets real. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. Even like when you come down here, you're gonna see it. Like especially this year since the home game, you're gonna be walking around campus or around the city. Any M you see, that junk crossed out.
It's on site.
Yeah, it's on site. Like no one plays about that game. That is the game. Like I don't want to say we don't worry about everybody else, but when it's time for that game, oh yeah, it's time for y'all to lock in for real, because that's the game of the year. And
it's the biggest game of the year, and it has been, for probably the last 5 years, really.
They go
probably
way,
even longer.
They go way back from that.
They go way back. I know they've had a rivalry forever.
Yeah.
So talk to me too. I know you were there last year at the Michigan game. What was that atmosphere like?
It was crazy, man. The fans was going crazy. Our fans was going crazy. It's like it was one of those. It was like a real war. It's like who gonna be coming out on top? Ain't no excuses, no nothing. It's just you gonna either play the game or you not. Either gonna win or you not. So you boys just have to lock in and just play that jump.
Absolutely. No, I get that completely. So I'm going to ask you this too. What is your favorite food spot in the Columbus area? Where do you go? Like, this is my place.
That's hard. It depends. It depends what you want, because I'm a big fella, so I eat whatever. So I just random places and try certain things, but it depends it really depends on what you're in the mood for real. Like if you're in the mood for like some steaks and stuff like that, you got Jeff Ruby's that's really good, and then you got Hyde Park that's also good. Those are my two favorite like steak spots. I'm trying to find a rooftop spot out here, but I haven't really went out scavenging like that yet. So I'm still on the lookout for that.
What would you say your favorite type of food is, though? If you had to pick to eat something for the rest of your life, you can't eat anything else. You got to eat this every single dinner.
Soul food.
Soul food? Oh, yeah.
I could eat that for days, boy.
Oh, I could too.
Boy,
what type of soul food? Like if you were to pick an entree, like what you could have, what would it be?
Man, you gotta have them collard greens, you gotta have them yams, you gotta have that fried chicken, you gotta have the cornbread, bro. That's mandatory. Cornbread
has to be there.
That's mandatory. And I like potato salads. My grandma makes a really good potato salad. I eat that joint every time. I think I said mac and cheese already, right? Yeah.
I don't think you said mac and cheese, but yeah, mac and cheese is always kind of good.
Yeah, mac and cheese got to be on there, but like that's my go-to soul food right there. Yeah,
go-to soul food.
Mac and cheese, fried chicken, potato salad. Boy, you can never go wrong with that.
No, you cannot. No. And I'm from the South, so I grew up eating collard greens, and I'll tell you, I think they smell awful when you're cooking them. I swear they smell like a sewer. It is awful. Collard greens.
Oh, collard greens?
Yeah, man. My mom used to cook that in the kitchen, and I was like, my God, the sewer blow up? It's just, collard greens do not, for me, they don't smell good, but they taste great. So I don't know if that's just a me thing or the way that she cooked them. She would cook them down in a pan. She'd cook them down in a pan with some olive oil, and then we would eat them. But I grew up eating soul food as well, obviously being in the South, and I would have to agree with you. I think I could eat soul food every single day and be completely fine. I might weigh a little bit too much, but but good, man. Like I said, I really appreciate you, sharing that info with us. What is your aspiration for the season this year? Like, what's kind of your goal, obviously, for Ohio State football this year?
Well, you said what's our goal as?
No, what's your individual goal as being on the team? I know it's a team sport, but what's your goal, heading through this year?
Man, just doing my job, doing whatever I can do to help the team win. Because usually your individual success won't come without the team success.
100%.
So I mostly put the team first, and then my individual success will come along with that success. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I get that completely. Yeah.
I ain't really have no individual success. I have vision of what my success would look like. I mean,
Right.
everybody would, but it's not going to really come true unless the team has success. So I put the team first before anything else.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I appreciate you sharing that with us. We're gonna kind of change subjects a little bit here. Just out of curiosity, and this might be a question that viewers might have or they might see. What do you think of the 12-man playoff? I mean, what do you think that brings to college football heading into January, February, even this year?
It's different. I never really experienced a 12-team playoffs before. It's always been the 4 teams and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see how it will work out. But it's just longer football to me. Like it just more games and more people in to watch it. So that's all I really can say. I don't really know too much about it like that to like talk about it. But I just know from what it looks like from a player's perspective, it's just you just got more games and more opportunities to show people who y'all really is as a team.
Absolutely, and I think it's great that they brought this in because it gives some of the teams that I don't think would have made it a chance to compete, and really get that exposure that they're not going to get. There's going to be teams from different conferences that are going to be in, but like I said, I think we're going to be seeing you in February. I hope so. We're going to be seeing you do your thing, so it'll be exciting to see that. And just kind of leading into this year, and what did you think? Obviously you played last weekend. What did you think about being fully immersed back on the field and kind of playing with your guys? How did that feel to you?
Well, you can re-say that. I didn't hear what you said.
No, you're good. I was just saying, what was it like being back on the field? This year. Obviously, game time experience the last 2 weekends. What does that feel like? Obviously, not playing for 6 months and then gearing up through camp and then heading into y'all's first 2 games.
I would say it's like an unforgettable experience because in the game of football, you really rely on the person to your left of you and then the person to the right of you, and that's it. Like to me, that's like every time I step the field, that's what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for my brother on the left of me, my brother on the right of me, the brother behind me, and the brothers on the sideline. Because that's what the people that we've been with since January, man. Working together and stuff like that. So it's a really good experience to share that with my brothers on the field.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of people get so carried away in the star positions, the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, some of the linebackers, but the game matters in the trenches. And I think you could probably talk more along those lines because for the average viewer, they're going to look at the wide receiver on the outside. They're going to look at the quarterback. They're going to look at the star kind of players running back. But tell me more about how much of an impact the trenches make in a game.
Man, the trenches can impact the game. They can either win you the game or they can lose you the game. If your D-line getting pushed up front, they can't run the ball, so that makes the team one-dimensional. The only option is to pass, and that just slows the game down. And, if your offensive line is knocking people back, you can move your run game. Now, the defense worrying about you running the ball, and you hit them with a play action, and you go ahead and score, 50-yard, whatever, type touchdown. So the trenches really matter because they really set the tone for the game and make the impact for the game. Because, like we always say, you can win or lose from the trenches. That's going
100%. And I'm glad that you share that because I feel like the average viewer doesn't understand how the game is played on that level. Because it's a dogfight, man. It's a dogfight for 4 hours, and it's not like you guys are taking too many breaks. It's back and forth, the whole time.
Play over, line back up again.
Literally, line back up again. So, just out of curiosity, I wanted to ask you this too. Has there ever been could you name? This might be hard to answer, but could you name an offensive tackle that you've gone against? And you're dang, that guy's big, or holy cow, because I know how big you are. Obviously, I've been around you in person, and I could not imagine running into you as running back or as quarterback trying to run away from you. What's it like going up against some of these, massive, offensive tackles, whether blindside or even on the interior?
I mean, to me, it's just football. Offensive linemen is always going to be big. They're always going to be strong. If they wasn't, they wouldn't play offensive line for real.
Absolutely, right.
It's been a couple of times when I face people, way bigger than me and stuff like that. But I just gotta look past that and just like it's me against you. Who's gonna win? That's my mentality on it. Like you just gotta play ball, bro. Because there's always gonna be somebody bigger than you, somebody stronger than you, somebody faster than you. It's just what you.
Absolutely.
It's just what you gonna do about it. Is what I always say. So.
100%. Yeah. And for people who don't know, Tywone is very fast for how big he is. It is impressive to see. So, even if he might be a little bit smaller than some of these O-linemen, I don't think they can keep up with him with his footwork, man. This guy can move. So you always got to be watching out for him. 'Cause he can really turn the corner on you fast. So yeah, man, wanted to obviously, get back more into the personal side. Coming from Jersey, I mean, you were one of the top D linemen in the country, man. I mean, coming out of high school, and you were doing baseball and football at the same time, which I think is so unique because not a lot of people can do this at such a high level. And do you think it helped you athletically be able to put yourself in the position you are at Ohio State right now?
I would say yeah, because there's a lot of different movements between the both sports. Baseball, you got to have lateral quickness, getting able to reach the ball all the way to your right or all the way to your left. You still got to run, like chase a ball, a fly ball, like you chase and turn your back to. So it helped me out in certain areas of my game. And then football itself is just, you just got to go, man. You just got to go play.
You just got to go.
I
get that.
Like,
I get that
100%. There's really no tricks and techniques to it. It's just, you just got to play hard and just go for it. Like, it's life. Like, you're going to get knocked down, but how many times you're going to get back up is the real question.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree with that. And it's been cool and obviously a pleasure to, be on this journey with you, obviously in the NIL business and obviously starting this new podcast. I mean, this is a great way to get you guys on and talk about, your personal background. Because a lot of people, see you as number 95 on the field. But that's when you got a helmet and shoulder pads on. There's not a microphone on you. I think being able to show your personality and show kind of the things that you do out, even the thing you talked about with drawing, really, brings in a personal side to you that I think a lot of people haven't seen. And I'll say this because I've been around you before. You're like a giant teddy bear. Giant teddy bear. Hey, I'm going to say it. You may not like that I said that, bro, but you're like a giant teddy bear. And I'll tell you, when he was with me in Tampa and I was walking around with T, I wasn't worried about anything whatsoever, because T had my back and I had his. So it was great to obviously, do that in person with you and really, spend some quality time together. Like I said, they're going to have to move that Top Golf net a little bit further back. I'm telling you, I think you might have had it. Dude, you had an exit speed of like 190, like 195. That's like
I was just
way above. I know you were. I mean, do you hit one? I think behind us one time, like over the roof. When I tell y'all, if Tywone connects with a golf ball, it is going to go so unbelievably far. You will not believe it. And I got to witness it in person, so it was crazy to see that. And we'll hopefully get to do that a lot more.
Next time I come down there, we gotta actually go to a real golf course. I want to actually see how that is.
That's something we got to do because I play.
That's what I'm saying.
And so we're gonna have to do that. That would be, we might have to video that. That would be highly entertaining from both of our ends. I mean, I'm not a pro or anything.
Hey, as long as you cut out all the misses I do, that would there's gonna be quite a few.
Oh man, that's too funny. Well, we might have to do something with you in golf at some point because I think that would be cool to get you out. I know you've never played before, really. I think that'd be really cool to get you out and play. And you might surprise. You might be surprised, and I'm telling you, man. You make contact, that thing's gonna go. We all know that. That thing is gonna fly. So. But yeah, I mean, hey, that could be another thing that you do outside of football. You try it one time, and if you like it, because I will tell you, obviously being a former baseball player myself, the swing is not that much different. And I think a lot of people think that, like, it's so much different. The only difference is your rollover. So, like, in baseball, ground out for me, I'm left-handed, just second base. Yeah. That's what you do in golf. So, like, we've trained ourselves, and you obviously play at a high level with baseball, so we don't roll over the ball. So it is very difficult to really, change the swing in golf. But the way I look at it now is, and this is what somebody told me when I was getting into it more, is think about hitting a baseball off a tee, but then you bend over. So the exact same thing. And it helped with my golf game, and shit, it might help with yours too. So I can't wait to see that. That's going to be, it's going to have to be filmed because that's going to be just free entertainment for everybody, even yourself.
That's going to be funny too. I can tell you that.
I'm telling you, we might have to clear the course because you kill somebody if you
Nah, yeah, you're going to tell me watch out because I do not know where that ball going to end up going.
No, but it would be highly entertaining, and I think that would be a lot of fun to do. So, like I said, man, I really appreciate you hopping on with us today. Anything you want to add, things that are going on in your life or anything that we didn't touch on today?
Nah, man, I'm just taking it day by day.
Day by day.
All in God's hands, man. I'm just...
Absolutely. Yeah. So I never asked you this, too, and I'm going to bring that in. Are you fairly religious?
I mean, I am Catholic,
Okay.
I wouldn't say, like, I'm super religious, but that's actually a good-ass question because once I came down here, I really wasn't into the Bible like that. I'll read, like, some scriptures then and there, but ever since I came to O State, that's been one of the biggest things, like, just the believing in God and the trust of God. I'm actually having more scriptures to read. I got the Bible on my phone. I got one beside my bed. It's just amazing, like, all the things God can do for somebody. And, like,
100%.
you gotta just trust in his process. And, sometimes you may feel like everything is not going as you think it is, but that's just God just setting you up for when he do bless you with that, you already know what you got going.
100%. And I can't remember the exact scripture, but there's one that I like to use a lot, and it's everything happens for a reason. God chooses. Mm-hmm. And I think that's very true. I mean, we're all here for a reason, and we're all on this journey together as, we go through life. And there's a lot of, experiences and things you go through in your life to get you to a certain point. And I think that has a big, faith and religious background, to put you in the right situation to, make everything happen that you want to happen. And then at the end of the day, you can look back and say, I had a good faith in God and I got to do what I wanted to do with my life,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just excited to see you back on the field. And I'm kind of upset that we have a bye week this weekend, even though I know you need to rest yourself, but I was watching that game on Saturday last weekend, and you're a problem, You're a problem out there. And, made some big plays and obviously had a big tackle in that game. So, I'm excited to see you rolling, next week. Who do y'all have coming up in the 21st? I think it's Michigan State, right?
You said the 21st? That's next week.
I think it's the 21st. Yeah, it's next weekend. I think it's Michigan State.
We got Marshall next week.
Marshall. Okay. Well, you know what we're going to have to do? So I know that y'all are both on the defensive side. I've got a linebacker we work with, Landon Watson, who's at Marshall. And I think we should have a little episode maybe next week before that game. And we'll keep it PG for everyone that wants to see it. But I would like a little bit of, early season, not trash talk, but, see what happens,
Yeah, that's something we can talk about.
Because we could do that, and then I definitely want to do one with you and Kimber before the Penn State game. So we know that's going to be a whiteout, and that's going to be – they're gearing up to get y'all this year, man. They really are. And
I'm already knowing. There's a big target on our backs this year.
There's a big target on your backs this year.
But we ready for that, so bring it on.
I know you are. Absolutely. I know you are, for sure. So, like I said, man, I really appreciate you hopping on with us today and sharing your experiences and really being a part of this journey, we've taken together. And I look forward to many more episodes with you and obviously seeing you make your big step in playing in the NFL for the years to come. So, It's really exciting, and appreciate you for believing in us and working with us through this. So.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All righty. Well, thanks again, man, and go Bucks.
Go Bucks.